Hey, how you guys doing? Michael X. Yeah, we are going to be doing some redstone. Seems to be the most popular thing. I don't think anybody wants to see me do. I don't think anybody wants to see me do survival. So probably try and focus more on redstone. The thing is I don't always feel like doing redstone. So go ahead and start up my chat. Hopefully I get some people watching. It's been a little bit of time before since since I've actually streamed. It's actually because I was having to do some repairs to my home. I had to install basically a sump pump, which means I had to dig a hole in a certain area where I was getting water, and then put a bucket in there, put rocks in that bucket, and then put the pump on it. And then it's automatic, so it has a float on it, so when the thing filled up with water, it drains it to a location that's not going to cause flooding, which is a pain. So I've been doing that myself all week because I can't afford nothing else, which just puts me that much more into debt, which sucks, but you know, hey, that's life. Alright, so I just need to test my chat really quick. Alright, yeah, it's working. Okay, cool. I decided to play a little bit of music. It's been a while. But, yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. So 1.14.4 if you're curious. So, I've been working on this elevator, and I do think it's actually pretty done. You know, it's pretty good. I'm not 100% sure on a lot of stuff with it. I don't know if this is how I'm going to want to do it, but I definitely like the fact that the button is actually further away. The problem is, now that it's closer, we need a lot of delay going on here. This may actually cause a problem, having a repeater here, but we're gonna check it. So we definitely want to have delay. We have 2 repeaters of delay here. We want to have it here too. So what I'm actually thinking, since this doesn't actually control anything, we could actually add the delay here. But we do got to be careful because it could actually cause an issue. So this will give us 2 repeaters delay, but I'm actually thinking we can go ahead and go with no delay here, because we don't want it powering the door. So this is probably the best way to do it. We could also, to prevent anything from happening, we could actually just have it power this block, as you guys can see. So it should give us decent amount of, yeah, it should definitely work. Now, something I did think about was making this elevator where the doors are always closed, no matter where you go to. And then when you hit a button, the only problem is the slower circuit's the only one we could use for that because of the way that it is. This particular design doesn't have very many access points. Although I was able to make a multiple floor elevator, as you guys can see here with it. It did require a lot of finesse, and the timings are really tight on it. I do want to kind of continue this elevator. One of the things I really don't like is the fact that if you are using this elevator, that you have to get in here really fast, and that if you mistime it, it is possible for you to get stuck into it. Yeah, that was only three floors. So it's one of those things where it's like, you know, the elevator is really nice. If I turned off, honestly, if I turned off my shader, it would probably work a lot better. But the timings are so fast that let me actually check some settings with my. It's not it. We want, so it's at 120, which is good. Excuse me. That's not what we want to look at. Quality. No. Performance, is this it? Now we could make the update chunks, you know, fastest by, you know, which would give us a little bit more performance, but we want to make this as strenuous as possible to make sure that it's working good. So performance, others. This is a really big thing that when I run it in 1920, compared to just your current, because I'm running it in an odd thing, it does kind of impact performance a little bit. But anyway, all right, let's just keep it like it is. I'm pretty sure we can go ahead and let's go ahead and go up to 4. And I noticed myself that if you're actually already in the elevator, let's say if we knock this out, you can actually get access to the button there. And well, right there anyway. And you can see that it works really good. So what really comes down to is the timing's so close. It's so very close that in all reality, I kind of wish we could have a button that is say here, you know, so that we had, like, say the buttons were there. That would be awesome. But I will say that I learned my lesson when I built the version 5 that there is no reason for that. What we actually need to do is we need to have a lot of time, you know, a lot of timings going on here. So when you hit that button, there needs to be a lot of delay going on. So that's really our biggest trouble, is that if I add delay to, say, each floor, it will give me that time, but it messes up all of the other timings. So it's something we could mess with. Hey, what's up there, Lonnie? Long time no see. So, hey, Lonnie, do you like my Redstone stuff better than my Let's Play? I'm not going to be offended or anything. I just think that, honestly, I've really gotten the impression, just based on looking at it, I get something like 40 views compared to 18 views. So, yeah. Like, I could play survival myself, but in all reality, I think people would rather see Redstone. What's up, Faith Healy? Is that it? Haley? Don't mind me if I mispronounce your name, by the way. It's not purposeful. I'll just say I have a lot of issues, and, you know, one of them is I can misinterpret. I don't have dyslexia, but I can misinterpret words, and I have diabetes, which means that if I have too much sugar, I can actually confuse stuff. And I have some videos of me just absolutely ranting about, I'll just say, crazy things because of it. But anyway, when it comes to Redstone, I think that's why people come to my channel. So I think that's probably what I'm going to focus on. There really isn't much I can do more than these elevators. I mean, I could apply the same kind of technology to a door, but in all reality, I don't like doors myself. I think that a 4x4 door is awesome, but I think that I'd rather have, you know, a 2x2 or even an iron door when it comes to survival. And you could say the same thing about the elevators. You know, you really could. I could tell you right now that I have enough material to actually build this in my survival world, which a lot of people say it's not really survival friendly, and I'm like, it depends on how you do it. I was thinking about making some sort of a guide on, you know, how you know, like the 10 steps to, you know, being able to have infinite resources, you know, something like that. You know, one is to make an iron farm, which I think should be your priority from the begin with, because if you have iron, then you have infinite weapons and armor. You also have the ability to make hoppers, which then opens it up for you to make mob systems that auto collect, and so on and vice versa. Anyway, so yeah, I have this on World Edit. So what I could actually do with this, Let's Plays would do better with more followers in the world. Yeah. Maybe. So getting the timings on this, let me just show you what I mean. So if we come down here, when we activate this, I literally just have, you know, a couple ticks of delay. Now say we go ahead and add 4 ticks here. In all reality, we'd really want to have 4 is probably the minimum, and right now there's only 2 ticks of delay per floor. So this is what we would actually want it to be like. So when you hit this button, you'd want to be able to get in here and get centered, and it gives you plenty of time. Now we've already seen that if you don't get in there properly and you're moving, or say you're just right here when it happens, yeah, when it happens, say you're right here when it starts lifting, what ends up happening is your character gets pushed into the block, and it makes you basically transparent, so you're like literally like in the block, and so you get stuck as soon as you hit this, which has to be, well, it doesn't really have to be here, but as you guys can see, it's part of the door. You know, I could change it to glass, but anyway, so we are on floor number 2, and we're gonna try it. I want to show you guys. So this is how it normally is. You have to like really get in here and get as close to that button as possible, and maybe even back up into it, and then just hope that you don't get off centered. And it does work that way, but I'd like it to be a little bit better. So if we go back to floor number 1 and hit this button, it should open the elevator to us. So the next thing we'd want to do is try and figure out where could we put delay. So when we hit the button here, it comes out and touches this green block, and that green block then in turn transfers its power here through these pink blocks. And so watch what happens if we add in this delay. So if I add in, what's up there, Reagan Roblox? Bye, love your vids. Well, thanks for stopping by. So, yeah, if I add 4 ticks of delay here to the main on and off that tells it when to go up, what ends up happening is when I try and stop on this floor, it can affect the timings. But let's just try it the way that it is right now, and we'll see what happens when I hit this up button. Let's go ahead and remove the doors so we can see what's going on in there. And I'll go ahead and remove these as well. So then when we hit this, it does seem to work decent. It might even work with these timings. We just have to check it. So what about going down? That seemed like it worked. Maybe it should be, maybe it'll be fine. Well, that was kind of scary. That's not what it's supposed to do. And I'll say that's right where I would say we're having issues. So we'd have to change timings on a lot of things to fix that. And I'll just show you what I mean by this. So if you hit the elevator down, it's supposed to do an instant extension to you. So if I hit the button up to call it to me, it skips past the floor and then shuts off. And what's actually causing that is because this isn't turning off fast enough right here. This piston isn't going down fast enough to stop the elevator where it needs to be stopped. So it depowers this, allowing the circuit to go through. So this would have to be so much faster, or it would have to be delayed by 4 ticks. So I think I want to try that since we actually have, you know, this on our schematics. I'm going to go ahead and try and add, you know, some delay to it. About the exact same delay we added here, and see what happens. Let's see what happens now. So we send it down. Yeah, that didn't work at all. That actually did the exact opposite. Let's see what happens when we call it to us. Yeah, so that didn't help one bit. Yeah, it didn't help one bit. Yeah, I think we would actually have to as well, where this piston extends, I would have to add another 4 ticks delay, which, like I said, it's just easier to not have it there. But what if we kind of go with... So yeah, what happens is when you hit the button, this piston, it retracts this block and basically turns this torch off, causing this to extend. So I could either, there's no space for it, but I could either, well, let me just put it to you as kind of simply that this needs to go down at a 4-tick delay, right? So if I added, you know, 2 repeaters here on 4, I gotta add that delay everywhere. So this would need to be 4 ticks of delay. I don't know if we could get that from it. This, yeah, this could actually be a redstone block, except for it would probably lock up the piston. But we could add a little bit of delay here. Could add a little bit of delay there. So we got, that's 6 ticks. So technically, if I add this here, it should give us what we're looking for. Now you guys can see that there's something up here. It's not supposed to be like that. So yeah, so this might work for us in the fashion it is. Let's see what happens when we call it up. So when I hit it down, it should go down at a nice safe speed. It doesn't, it goes up. Yeah, so just changing some timings like this is not going to help us one bit, as you guys just seen. It's why when I did this originally, it's why I had the timing so perfect, because it was all I could do. Now I could try to do some stuff to change it. But I think that it's timed, the way that it's timed, it's just perfect the way it is. So not having these gives us the exact timings we need. So what I could actually try and do is to delay the timing between when you hit the button. So if I could basically delay this piston, you know, like when it gets activated, let's just say, so when it gets active, if it was to come here, and so it's going to lift up, right? It's going to lift up instantly. But what if we had something delaying it? So when this piston extends, it's delayed. So for a good example, I could come in here. We can get rid of this stuff. So we can see stuff. Okay, so that actually is a very important thing to have. We need that there. Okay, there we go. So we would have to delay this piston somehow. Like a couple ways I could think of is I could switch this to a torch system. So for instance, if I was to do this just for temporary, get rid of this, and we went to a torch, and I went with a, let's say, red block, and we switched it over to this sort of a system where this torch here is actually what's doing it. We could get a little bit more time from it. It's kind of the wrong though, so we would need it to be like that. Yeah, need it to be like that, and then this would give us a little bit of delay, but just on that area. And one of the issues we run into with this is that this block here is supposed to get powered by like underneath here. Let me just show you, so we can go ahead and do this. This is supposed to power that, which gives us an issue with using this sort of a system with it on this button, which is why I went with pistons to begin with. But this would be the only way we could you know, get this functioning is to somehow delay the button itself. So just to give you guys an example of something that I could do, I could actually move the button in one. So I could actually do this. This would give us about a 4 ticks delay, and we would be able to see the button now from inside the elevator. Now that would change where the wall is. These buttons will hook up exactly the same as they did before. Seriously, there's not going to be any changes here. When you're on this, you don't have any floors to activate except for the floors activating upward, which says that I think I might have broke a block here. That should have been. Yeah, when I'm on this floor, let's see what we got on the top here. So this floor activates that one, and then yeah, you don't need to activate the floor you're on. So the only floors that should be active here would be number 3. So 3 should be hooked up. So where the heck is 3 at? Very odd, because it should actually be hooked up. Is it not hooked up? When you're down here and you want to go to floor 3, you hit this torch here. Why is this not hooked up? Did I like cut it away or something? Should be like that, but you can clearly see this torch isn't right. So if I wanted to go to the floor above me, it doesn't look like it's actually hooked up. Yeah, and this circuit here is to call it down. But you don't need to go down from 2. It's automatic, so you don't actually have to hit it. But that should actually be hooked up. I'm actually kind of... So should this one, but only in the down fashion. Very odd. It's almost like... Very weird. Okay. So, yeah, something's not right here. Yeah. I gave this as a world download, and I'm actually going, well, wait a minute. You know, if you want to go from here and you want to actually stop at the floor above you, which is floor 3, you can see nothing's going to happen here. So, what is going on there? Yeah, it needs a torch tower system, and it's not hooked up on this floor for some reason. It's not even attempted to be hooked up. What is going on there? Very weird. I don't know if I'm just screwing up here or what, but... Okay, so if I want to go to the floor above me, this would actually have to be hooked up properly, and it is not. So what is going on here? I think I want to check something here, because this should actually be hooked up to activate the floor above us, and it is not hooked up. So what we would have to do is come up here, remove this block, and I would have to invert the signal here, which would then give us and is that going to activate? Yeah, that would activate that. So we would need to invert this. I would probably need to invert it again, actually. Very weird. Let me just do this temporarily to see. it should actually be this one here to activate the third floor. So if I hit it now, it should work. So did I not do? Oh, I removed that repeater. My bad. Right, let's try it again. Okay, it definitely opened it. So if I was to get in here and hit this button. Very odd. I am tripping on this because I know damn well I hooked this up. But it doesn't look like I actually did. So, oops, my bad. What's up, Logan? Nice to have some people joining me. So I did hit my YouTube threshold, which is good, which means I should get a check next month, but it's not going to be for a lot of money, unfortunately. But yeah. So, very odd. I'm actually kind of confused because I know that I gave this as a map download, and I'm wondering why this floor isn't hooked up. It should be hooked up. I actually want to go to the world download and see if I actually did put this here, because it doesn't look like I did. It's okay. Hopefully the person that got the world download from me would actually come and look, because the third floor isn't actually working. So world download, this is the recent one I gave away for the person that contributed, which I did want to say, if you guys want to contribute, do not use the YouTube system to contribute money. They take half of what I get. So if you give me $10, I only get a little bit of money from it. Seriously. So it's not like I get the entire thing, which I actually should. But if you go through Patreon and support me through Patreon, I get 90% of it. So yeah, it's definitely, you know, it's definitely worth it's worth it to me if you guys use Patreon to support me instead of using YouTube. Excuse me. So this is the IKEA world download, and I do want to check it because it doesn't look to me. Yeah, if you look here, I did not actually hook up the second floor here. So if you were here and you called the elevator to you and you wanted to go up to third floor, so when you hit this, it's not going to do nothing, unfortunately, which sucks, but also I guess is okay. I mean, it is a simple fix that somebody would have to do what I'm doing right now to fix it, which would be to, let's go ahead and go up here, get rid of that torch, and there's actually a couple ways we could do this. We could actually just invert the torch tower from here, which would look better, but I'm going to go ahead and say that the classic way that I used to do this is just that way. And what it does is just going to invert the signal here. We could actually change the way we have this hooked up as well, just because that's off now, which we do want. So let me grab some redstone. So if anybody did get a world download from me, this would actually be the way that we would want to get this here. Seriously, we'd want to get the signal to go from here. Yeah, we could use the repeater, but we don't really need it. And I'm gonna say do this. That would work. So yeah, I'm really shocked that on the world download I did this. So it's too bad. I mean, it's unfortunate. I'm sure that the guy, after he realizes it, he's gonna realize that there is a missing circuit, but it's just a repeater and some torches. So it's okay. I know it works. Unfortunately, the guy that did support me on Patreon does not. I haven't seen him come to my streams or comment on any of my videos. So at least I noticed it, which is good. You know, I'm not exactly going to be able to do that, but I did think if we did extend away this wall and made it, say, here, it would kind of hide these pistons, and it would be kind of like my older elevator design. But I really wanted it to be away, like kind of like what you'd expect on an elevator. I mean, in all reality, you'd probably want your elevator buttons to be like right here. You know, like that would be the perfect place, or maybe like this, you know, and have them as black blocks. And be like, oh, I'm going up. And even have an indicator light. Problem with that, there's a lot of circuitry there. If we didn't have doors, we could get away with it. You know, but because we do have doors, we can't get away with it. So, anyway, if we do this, I'm not too sure, honestly. I'm not too sure that this is actually going to help our... I mean, it's one repeater, and it's actually completely affecting the entire look of this. There is no way for us to... give us... We actually need 4 repeaters delay. That would be the perfect timing. But because of the space in which we're doing this, yeah. So just to show you, like, it would definitely help out. I mean, we could hit this button. Elevator comes up to us. My version 9 multiple floor elevator is probably the best elevator that I've ever made as far as like timings and all those things. It is absolutely a beast, but it's slow, and people don't like that. So when you go faster, it does affect a lot of the timings. But if we were here, you could literally just hit the button and you would be perfectly centered, and it would work a lot more consistently than if I was to, you know, say go from this floor. You guys will see. I call it to me. It retracts. I hit the button. I run in, and if I don't get in the right place, it's just going to get me stuck. So these are some of the reasons why we need something to make it so that somebody that's new to this elevator has a little bit more time. You know what I mean? They have a little bit more time. Yeah, ultimately we would like to have 4 delay on it. You know, 4 ticks of delay. There's not really much we can do about it, though. Gonna go ahead and say, I mean, without drastically changing the look of this elevator. I mean, I really would like this to stay looking like it does now. You know? Seriously. Is that how it looks? Yeah, like that. I would like it to stay with this look. But as far as functionality goes, I mean, we definitely would need to do something about it. We could definitely move the wall forward, get rid of this lamp. Oops. That's not good. I got rid of some redstone there. So let's go ahead and do that. So, yeah. So, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. So, if we were doing this, just for instance, I could hook this all up right now. Let's actually try that real quick. Let me go ahead and let's just see what it would look like. I mean, if it's going to make it timed better and it just costs us... I mean, it actually is less material when we do it this way. So it might actually be worth it if you really think about it. Definitely less material being used. So what it would do is it would give us a little bit of leeway here, so we could do that. Yeah, that would give us 2 ticks of delay. Shouldn't make that much of a difference with anything. Yeah. So this button here. So, okay, so we wouldn't actually be able to do this because it would block this. So, yeah, we can't actually do this. So this is, although might look a little cooler, I don't actually like the way that it looks myself, but yeah, it actually will not work. The wall has to be where I originally planned it, and so because I built it around that particular design, it pretty much means we're stuck with this kind of a design here. So maybe we can squeeze some time out of somewhere else, maybe? I don't know. Go. So we would be back to having to time all this. Like I said, because of the way that we have this and we're using this kind of wraparound to get it away so that we can keep it within a certain distance, I could definitely make the timings better just by literally moving the circuitry like 2 blocks over, which would make it wider than, you know, right now the circuitry sits within a 4-block area, which beats any of my other elevator designs because of the slime blocks. So, yeah. Very odd that I missed that. Must have been subconscious because I really didn't want to sell this design, which I did sell it. But anyway, okay. So I think adding time to this, about the only place you can get away with it is here on the bottom. But I like things to stay the same. So I'm actually thinking that maybe what I could do instead is to get rid of this here. Some of this has to be here because you don't want to see the pistons, right? But it is possible to have it like so. This would actually give you access. This is supposed to be like that, but we'll go ahead and stick with what I originally had, which is that. So if you were actually able to be in the elevator and get in and take your time, it wouldn't really matter because it's really just about being in the right position. When you come in and you're like this and you have to flip around, there is that moment where it starts lifting up, and if you get on this side, you're kind of screwed. So there is another way that you could use this elevator as is without touching any of the stuff in it. And I'll just go ahead and show you guys that. So this is the bottom floor. So it doesn't really matter, but if you wanted to have this perfect, if you were to basically aim, like if I hit this button and then aim, and I don't turn around, it should actually work, but who wants that? So I can do it every time pretty much because I have practice with it, but I'd recommend maybe just getting in so that you're kind of centered and then walking out till you can hit the up button and then back up, and hopefully it works for you. But this isn't exactly a tutorial that we could do, unfortunately. And I'm going to tell you, I've had so much failure with doing 2-hour-long tutorials that this would be a world upload for sure. So As far as extending the time on that, I don't see it being possible right now at this very second. I might be able to find online a different way to use this piston so that we could actually get more delay from this. Like I could actually have the piston face a different direction. Like it actually could face this way if I move this around a little bit. It would still work the same. So I could try and get the delay from here, right? So when you hit the button, it's going to go through here, and then it's going to get a 2-tick delay before this, does its thing. And right now it's getting, basically it's getting an instant retraction followed by, yeah. So these are literally, this is at basically 1-tick delay. This makes it 2 ticks delay. And if you look at this, it instantly extends, and this only gives you 1-tick delay. But in order to extend a piston, this ends up being 3 ticks of delay. And then if you add this one in, it's 4 ticks of delay, and then another 2. So if we figured out the math on that, we probably actually could add in the perfect timing to this. Because what's actually happening here is that if we added, say, 4 ticks of delay to the start here, I'll show you guys a good example of this. So let's just say we wanted to add 4 ticks of delay, and I took and put 4 ticks of delay here. We would also need to add some delay here, but let's just try it because we just did it here. I'm going to actually mark this floor so I don't forget which area I did this at. So this is going to basically, when I hit the button, is going to add 4 ticks of delay. So now we need to add another 4 ticks. So we've already added 4 ticks here, and we've added 4 ticks there. There might be another location that we'll need to add 4 ticks of delay. And so before all of this, we had 3 ticks of delay here, which was the perfect. So when this extends up, we're going to need to change this. So I'm actually thinking we could add 4 ticks of delay here. And there's already 4 there. This is another place we could get a timing change really easily. But let's just check it for right now and see what happens. So it's this floor here. So should give you quite a bit of delay when you go up here. Does seem to work. Let's go ahead and go down to the floor. We might have actually figured out the proper timings for this. I mean, it's not much, but it's enough. It's enough to go and say, we could actually add on, if I added more delay here, like say 1 tick of delay, it worked on the up and down just by adding the same amount of delay here. So we might actually be able to get the 4 delay here on this floor. So let's see this one. I want to do the same to this floor. So we added 4 here, and then we added 4 here. I'm going to change this to there. So where else did we add the delay? It was right there. Okay. Let's see what happens when we try and use this floor. So we got to fully test it. So first we want to call it to us. Then we want to send it down. Make sure it looks nice. Let's try that again so we can see it. Comes up nice and smooth. Goes down nice. So we know that that's all working. That's very odd. Why do I have yellow there but not anywhere else? Let me fix that. That makes no sense. Okay, whatever. Alright, so it seems decent to me. We could add some more delay to the door so the door doesn't open up so fast. Let me see, where's the door control for this? The door control would be here. So when we hit that button, the door is going to be controlled right here. We would have to add the delay here to it, which would kind of mess things up, but we could add some delay. I'm going to say no on it. I'm going to say that I think we could sacrifice a little bit of, you know, piston action going on here. So now we just need to try it going upward, which is the only position we haven't tried, but it has a lot more time to it now. I still felt like that was a little too fast for me. So we could do the same up here now, though. We can actually do, you know, we can do a 4 ticks delay to keep it even there. So it'd be 4 and 4, just so it matches the other floors. Okay, so now, since we figured that out, we should be able to do it even further, which is, here's our issue, is that we actually cannot add another repeater, not without screwing things up. Now I could move this block. The reason it's where it's at right now is to prevent it. So basically we probably couldn't, like, I would have to do like something where the redstone block was here, but when it was up it would keep the item from ever being able to drop through, so we couldn't do that. So I think this is about as much delay as we can do without, you know, making this thing overshoot. So let's see if we can add just 1 tick to it. Let's add 1 tick there, and I'll add another tick here, and see what happens when we call the elevator to us. So we call it down to us. Send it down. Call it up to us. Seems like we got away with it. Now we just need to test it. The extra time for me definitely makes it, I'll say, nice. The extra time for me. So let's try 1 more tick here. So I'm going to add 1 tick here. And 1 more tick here. So we're now getting a total of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 7 ticks here, 7 ticks there. And we're not getting any change here, which is kind of like I said, there's probably there's going to be some sort of repercussions to this. So let's add 3 here. And 3 there. And 3 here. And 3 there. So that everything's the same. Do we have any delay here? I do need to have... no, we don't need any delay on the purple circuit. It's just the pink, which we have. Kind of funny this is here, huh? We actually had this originally to be... we don't need it anymore. Doesn't need to be there. This comes across, activates that, and so on, vice versa. Okay, let's go ahead and send it down, and we're going to try this thing and put it through its paces and see what happens. Right, this music is getting on my nerves. I don't know about you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. There we go. Whew, headache be gone. That's all I can say. Okay, so we have a total of 1 person watching, which is awesome, I guess. It's nice that somebody came to stop by for a couple seconds. I mean, I don't know how that might help me, but so what we need to do is we need to go up to a random floor, go down, and so on. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to make a stop on every floor. So floor 2, floor 3, and of course we don't have to hit this button, but I'll hit it anyway just to make sure. So we also want to add it on the bottom here. So we want to have 4 here and 3 there. So it'll be equal. I think these timing fixes when I do the full release on this, which I may not ever, but... So you can see that I got on the wrong side, but as long as you're within this area, it's usually good. I say on console, it's going to sound funny, but it's actually not that bad, honestly. Whoa, I was way off. Good thing I was only going 10 blocks. There we go. And we're up at the top. So now we want to do the same thing. We want to stop on floor 3, floor 2. Okay. Okay, so I think we can now, since we've got this timed, I think we can safely do another tick here. And another tick here. And because it did go up, it did go down, it did stop on every floor we wanted it to. We do need to leave this at 3. I'm going to leave it at 3/4. No reason to change it. Adding another tick there. And another tick there. And we would need to add another tick there. So everything would be the same timing wise. And so this would probably be the only place. So we've now gotten ourselves an extra 8 ticks of delay to help us get centered better, which I think I like. Because I really think that somebody, if they came to this and they were like, you know, oh, awesome elevator, I really like this. They're going to go like this. And as they're walking, they're going to turn and hit this. And they're not going to be too concerned about getting centered right there. So I think, as you guys can see here, let's go ahead and go back down to floor 2. You literally have to run that if you want to actually go to that. So when I hit the floor 3, it didn't actually stop on it. We're gonna try and figure out why that happened. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so what I did was I went to floor 3. And then I went to floor 2. You can definitely hear it working. Then I tried to go back up to floor... Oh, wow, no wonder. I just realized none of this is on the same level. That explains a lot. Okay, so these are supposed to be here. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, okay. Yep, I found what I did wrong. Ha-ha! So the only floors you can actually go to from here is 3 and 4. But because 4 is already hooked up, there's no reason to have it. Which is purposely done. Aloha says Logan. I thought I said something. Yeah. So he did that at 15:53 time. I'm thinking that's actually... I'm almost have dinner. Let's see. All right, so I am going to end this stream. I do think that I like the new timings on this. It's a little bit better. We do have to put it through its paces, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it anyway. So from here, we want to go up to, let's say, to the top floor. There's definitely a lot better timing going on here. I like it a lot more. Yeah, here's another... Why did I put yellow there? I think that's how I had all of them. Maybe I should change it back. I like it blue. I think it's fine blue. Okay. So we've ridden the elevator all the way up. We've done it all the way down. Let's try stopping on every floor on the way down, which I think we already did. But the only thing we haven't tried is instant extension, instant retraction. We have tried, so let's try that. So from let's go floor 2 first. Floor 2, you hit the button. Comes up to you. I will say that the door timings could be a little bit better to where you don't see it coming up, but I think it's fine. I mean, I think we could adjust it a little bit, but anyway, let's send it back down. Let's go up here and try it again. As I said, it actually wouldn't be too far out of reach to add some delay here. Yeah, I'd say that down is probably the only thing we haven't tried is to hit down from this floor. Let's try that. So we've done instant extension. And we haven't done instant retraction, but down seems like it's fine too. So I think we have retimed version 7 elevator, not intentionally, but I do like it, and I think I do want to do a patch video on it. I did want to go ahead and kind of tell you guys some stuff real quick. Let me actually show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Let me just find, I just got to go to my, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I see. So we're going to go ahead and turn Minecraft off, though, well, at least seeing it. Going to my channel, going to my channel, if we go to showcases, you guys can see that this is actually one of my more popular videos. It's actually got 19. It's my most famous. I did say in it though that I did need 100. I do need 100, views on, or 100 likes. We are at 69 right now. We are so close to it that I'm gonna just tell you that we're almost there. Seriously, I'm thinking of releasing it around 75. So we're talking what? 16 more likes and I will do a world download. There's not a lot of people that are monitoring this video, so when I make a new video, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and it's going to be a world download. Now I want to use OneDrive to do it, but I don't know if it'll work per se for say 150 people or even 1900 people. I don't think that it'll work for them, but you never know. Yeah. I do know that it's a very odd elevator, but anyway, I do hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I didn't have a lot of time today, unfortunately, but yeah, I will be streaming some more here soon. Probably Redstone. Not going to be doing too much Let's Play stuff. I want to go ahead and go through my chat really quick and say thanks for commenting, Lonnie, Faith Healy. Of course, Logan 101 and Regan Roblox. Thanks for commenting. Let's Play would do better with more followers in the world. Yeah. So basically, I should not be trying to do Let's Play series if I didn't have a lot of people watching. Nobody's gonna appreciate the amount of time and stuff that I spent doing that stuff. So anyway, I do hope you guys enjoyed this. I gotta make dinner, and you guys have a good weekend, and thanks for coming by. Later.